Welcome back, Pridefit. Today we are doing a 30-minute full body hold workout. So how this workout works, we are going to be doing 30 different movements that are going to be getting progressively more challenging. When we get to minute 20, there may be some movements that you can't do. That's totally fine. You can either end the workout there or you can continue to do scaling options and finish that workout with us. You don't need any equipment for today's workout except for a yoga mat. And we're gonna be doing 45 seconds of each movement and then 15 seconds of rest as we transition to the next movement. Let's jump right into the workout. Already starting in 15 seconds with a forearm hold. Let's get down on our mat. Make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. We're gonna keep those hips nice and low. Going in 3, 2, and 1. In this position, I want you to make sure that you're breathing. I want you to push the floor away with your shoulders, right? We're not collapsing down, retracting our shoulder blades down. Push the floor away.
But if you hold me now, let me into your heart. Maybe I can start to love again and tend to my scars. Can you show me?
20 more seconds. Because we're going through all these movements just once, I want you to do your best to try and hold on for that full 45-second period. But if you need to take a rest, that is totally fine. Just hop right back in when you can. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. 15 seconds of rest, and then we're gonna be going into a bottom of a squat hold. So we're gonna find our squat stance, about shoulder width apart, slight turn out to our toes. We're gonna squat down, make sure our knees are driving out. We're gonna hold there for 45 seconds, okay? Going in 3, 2, and 1. Really important, once again, because we're only doing these movements once, that we use that 15 seconds of rest to get ready for the next movement. I want to be fast with these transitions. We don't want to be relaxing down in our squat, right? This is going to be a pretty passive position. We want to be in an active position, so be at parallel, drive those knees out, try and keep your chest up as much as possible. I find that having my hands out in front of me makes that a little bit easier. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. We're going into a side plank next. Side planks I actually find very challenging. I'm gonna start on my weaker side, that is my right side. Once again, making sure that our elbows underneath our shoulder. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. In this position, I want you to think about trying to stack your hips on top of each other. We don't want to be super open or super closed. Wrist directly in front of your elbow. Elbow directly underneath your shoulder. Nice and stacked. 20 seconds. We love these isometric holds. Isometric just means that we're holding something rather than moving through a movement. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Other side. But isometric holds are gonna be really good for stability work, really good for low impact if you're having some injury stuff. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Hips are stacked, elbow underneath our shoulder. Here we go. And breathe. Seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. We're going into a good morning hold. So for that good morning, feet are going to be underneath your hips. Toes are straight forward this time. Hands are behind your head. You're gonna soften your knees and your hips back. We're gonna hang out in this bottom of a good morning hold for that 45 seconds. Going in 2 and 1. This is an active position for your upper and lower back. Notice I'm not squatting down. I'm thinking about softening my knees and then hinging at the hips. It's the difference between a hip hinge and a squat. We're working on that hip hinge in this movement. Think about pulling your elbows back to keep that upper back nice and tight. I don't want to keep our lower back tight and then our upper back is rounding, right? Everything nice and neutral. 15 more seconds. Drive the knees out. Think about your butt reaching it toward that back wall. 3, 2, and 1. Back down on the ground. We're gonna be in a boat pose hold. So you're gonna be balancing on your sits bones. Yes, that is what it's called. Bring our belly button to our spine in 3, 2, and 1. Try and bring those knees together. You may be feeling this in your hip flexors. That is also part of our core. That's one of the big reasons why we strengthen our core, is to combine our lower and upper body, right? So those muscles that are in your hip flexors that burn when you do something like this, that is still your core, believe it or not. Try and sit up nice and tall. Five more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. High plank is next. So rather than being in that forearm plank, we're gonna be in the top of our push-up position, but once again, wrists underneath our shoulders, keeping our butt down, pulling our belly button to our spine, going in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Drop your butt just 2 inches. Fifteen seconds. Three, 2, 1, and rest. We're going into T-spine raises. So we're gonna be laying on our front, hands behind our head. We're just gonna be raising this top portion of our back, our T-spine, our thoracic spine. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. We don't need to hyperextend this position. I don't want it to be in our lower back. I want you to be thinking about really squeezing your elbows together to get that thoracic spine to engage. Ten seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Good, good. We're going into calf raise next. Feet are about 6 inches apart. We're just gonna raise up, hold in this position, and go. This is pretty challenging, not only for our calves, but also for balance. Always good for us to be working our calves to strengthen them for running and for walking. I like to do negative calf raises as well, but these isometric holds, they're tough. They're good. Think about a spring, not a spring, a string coming up from the middle of your head, pulling you up toward the ceiling, just like ballet class. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going into a glute bridge. Be laying on the ground, feet are about 6 inches away from our bum. Think about driving through our heels to get a maximal glute squeeze at the top. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Check in with your booty. Make sure it's rock hard If it's not, try adjusting where your feet are in relation to your body. You can try taking your feet a little bit further out. You can bring them a little bit closer in. It's gonna elicit a little bit of a different response. You may start to feel it in your quads or in your hamstrings. The goal is for this to be exclusively glutes, right? So try and find that foot position that works best for you to get that glute activation. Squeeze your core, drive through your heels. And rest. We're going into a single leg balance. Sometimes when we do these on a mat, that's a little bit more challenging. So I'm gonna come off my mat and we're just gonna be balancing on one leg. I want you to think about bringing that big toe, pressing it into the floor, going in 2 and 1. I don't really care where that other foot is. You can bring it up for a little bit of an extra challenge. We don't talk about this a lot, but that big toe, it has a lot to do with our balance and coordination, right? So we want to practice driving that big toe into the floor, foot engagement. A lot of times with the shoes that we wear, we don't have any awareness of how our feet should be strengthened and how they should be working. This is an opportunity to practice that a little bit. With that big toe engagement. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We'll be switching to the other side in 15 seconds. Probably when we think about the big toe the most, or when we should be thinking about the big toe the most, is in our squat. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. We want to be thinking about our entire foot being on the ground. So a lot of times we'll talk about the tripod, the big toe, the pinky toe, and the heel. Because so many people have a problem when they're squatting with either their heels coming up or their toes coming up. So when you're squatting, I want you to think about that big toe, just like you are right now, that big toe driving into the floor, that pinky toe down, and then your heel down. And that is going to be the most stable position for our squat. 10 more seconds. Aren't these like a little bit more challenging than you think they're gonna be? 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going into a reverse plank. So this time, we're sitting on our mat, fingertips are face forward, driving through our heels, roll our shoulders down and back, puff out our chest, going in 3, 2, and 1. Hips go up to the sky. Try and make a straight line with your body. Notice I'm not collapsing down with my shoulders, right? Push the floor away, nice proud chest, squeeze your butt. I forgot to squeeze my butt. I'll get to do that though. Just made me feel a lot more stable. "15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're gonna stay in this position because we're gonna be doing a single leg glute bridge hold. So rather than that both leg glute bridge hold that we did, we're doing one leg now. Left leg, drive through your heel, and go. Try and keep these hips nice and square. We don't want one hip to be higher or lower than the other. I don't really care where this leg is. I like to kind of make it in line with my other leg. And once again, check in with that left glute. If it's not turning on, try and adjust your heel position, bring it a little bit closer to your butt or a little bit further away. These are super tough. We're getting into those really, really tough movements. Not that these haven't been tough already, honestly. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We'll be doing the right side next. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Drive through that heel, make sure the hips are square. Squeeze that right butt cheek. "15 seconds. Y'all are killing it. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Y'all, we are halfway done with the workout. Next movement, we've got the dead bug, so we don't have to move at all. A lot of times we'll think about the dead bug as being a very simple movement. It's actually quite complicated. So we are going in 3, 2, and 1. Knees and hands are up to the sky. From here, I want you to actively pull your belly button to your spine. We're engaging our transverse abdominis here. We're just holding in this position. You have to think about taking some shallow breaths. If it feels too easy, that means that you are not squeezing enough. You're only gonna get as much out of this movement as you put into it. We've got 10 more seconds. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going into a quadruped hold. So this is almost the exact opposite of the dead bug that we were just doing. We're flipping it over. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're gonna tuck our toes, bring our knees 2 inches off the ground, and go. Notice in this position, I'm not rounded up here. I have a neutral spine, which means that I have a slight arch in my back. I'm also not way arched, right? Just find that slight arch. And then from here, I want you to pull your belly button to your spine. Your knees should only be 2 inches off the ground. This is actually easier. So, as much as possible, keep those knees super low to the ground. 10 seconds. These burn. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. One of my favorite movements of all time. We're doing the bottom of the push-up hold. These are so hard. It's gonna be great. Wrists underneath our shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Keep those elbows in. Make sure to breathe. "15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Those suck. We're doing a side lunge hold. So I'm gonna start with my left side because that's a little bit weaker. Hips go back into the left and go. Think about driving through your heel. Make sure that knee is tracking out over your toe. These are the tough ones, right? We're getting into those really difficult movements. I'm not relaxing down here, right? I'm in an active position. Good, 15 seconds. Ooh, this hurts. 10. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're doing the other side. You'll notice with these holds though, a lot of times it's a mind over matter thing. Physically, we're not gonna be injured if we hold this movement a little bit longer, right? So here we go. Going in 3, 2, and 1. 20 seconds. 10. 3, 2, 1. And rest. We're doing an extended side plank. So rather than being on our elbow, we're gonna be up on our hand. These are really tough. Do the best you can. Again, wrists underneath our shoulder, going in 3, 2, and 1. Seconds. 10. 3, 2, 1, and rest. I've gotten a little bit quieter, you'll see. Oh, you're so challenging. Okay, other side. Going in 3, 2, 1. Fifteen seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, we're doing a lever. So it's all about balance. We're gonna be practicing balance on that left side. Legs and arms go out into a straight line as much as possible. And go. Make sure that bottom leg is nice and soft. Again, we're thinking about that big toe pressing into the floor. Find a space on the ground to stare at to help your balance. And breathe. Five, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Those are something else. Lever on the other side. Going in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Soften that right leg. Try and extend the left leg back, arms forward. And breathe. Big toe down to the ground. Make that foot work for it. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Good, we're going into Superwoman. Just insult to injury for this type of movement. We're gonna be on our mat, hands are overhead, just in case your shoulders weren't exhausted enough. Going in, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your butt. Legs off the ground, arms off the ground. 20 seconds. Five, 3, 2, 1, and rest. I will say, Superwoman, one of the most challenging exercises for me ever. Next, we're doing another very challenging exercise. We're doing a lunge hold. So you're gonna find that lunge position. Back knee's gonna come to 2 inches off the ground. Here we go. I want you to balance your weight equally between that front and back foot. A lot of times, we'll bias our weight a little bit forward. Try and split it equally as much as possible. That's good, that's good. 15 seconds. I know these are so tough. These last 5 movements are really hard. 10 seconds.
What's to come? It starts getting cold and we don't know.
2, 1, and rest. We're doing the same thing on the other side. 4 more movements to go. I was like, is that right? Yeah, 4 more movements. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Again, we're trying to split our weight between our front and back foot, which means that sometimes we have to shift our weight back. Twenty seconds. Our body's like, just go up a little bit higher. It's a little bit easier up there. Don't do it. You got it. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going into a hollow hold. So just like that boat pose, but we're gonna extend it out. Again, if you're staying with us but you can't do that hollow hold, do a boat pose. That's great. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Press that lower back into the floor.
Science told us how we could reach the other side.
I just like immediately get the shakes when I do this.
I don't blame you 'cause I feel the same. 'Cause I might get all
Feel free to have your arms down to your sides. Makes it a little bit easier.
proud.
20 seconds.
Miracles or just let it go. But honey, we have
10.
to be together here in the stormy weather. So
3,
why do
2, 1, rest. The last 2 movements are single arm planks. I'm gonna start with my left arm. And we're gonna do the right arm. And we're done for this workout. Y'all have absolutely killed it. Let's do it. Going in 3, 2, 1. Left arm is gonna be underneath my shoulder. Yes, but also slightly more toward the middle of my torso. We're trying to keep our shoulders as square to the ground as possible, our hips as square to the ground as possible. That being said, this movement is so hard. Do the best you can with it. 20 seconds. Mind over matter here, last 2 minutes.
stuck in the stormy weather?
10. 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Y'all, last minute. Just the other side to go. Whew, this is killer. But then you are done with your workout for today. I'm so, so proud of you. Let's do it. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Hips and shoulders square to the ground. Take those shallow breaths. Make sure to breathe. We need to get oxygen to those muscles that are working so hard right now. 20 seconds. 1, and rest. Y'all, what an incredible 30-minute workout. Thank you so much for doing that entire thing with me to the best of your ability. I'm really proud of you for sticking through it. I will see you back next time. Great work today.